Listen to me. Everybody wants success, but not everybody wants to think like success. You can't win this game with a losing mindset. You can't climb a mountain thinking like a person stuck at the bottom. You got to decide that you deserve more and then think, breathe, and move like it. The success mindset isn't about luck. It's about discipline. It's about grind. It's about saying, I'm not stopping until I get there. You don't wait for motivation. You create it. You don't look for opportunity. You become opportunity. Every single moment you wake up, you've got two choices: to stay in your comfort zone or to grow into your calling. And let me tell you something. Comfort is the enemy of success. You never reach the top living soft. Success begins when you change the story you tell yourself. Stop saying I can't. Stop saying it's too hard. You are stronger than your excuses, greater than your fear, and bigger than your pain. A success mindset means when life hits you, you don't quit, you adjust. When doors close, you build another one. When nobody believes in you, you believe in yourself even harder. You have to think like the person you want to become. Walk like them. Talk like them. Train like them. Study like them. Don't wait for success. Think success until it shows up. Because at the end of the day, the mind controls the grind. You change your mind, you change your life. Period. Think it before you live it. That's where success begins. Everything you see in this world started as a thought in somebody's mind. Every building, every business, every dream that became real began with someone who dared to think it before anyone else believed it could exist. That's the secret of greatness. It all starts in the mind. Before the world sees it, you got to see it. Before others believe it, you got to believe it. Before life gives it to you, you got to imagine it so powerfully that it becomes impossible not to create it. You can't live what you don't first imagine. The world will always try to shape your reality, tell you who you are, what you can't do, what's too big for you. But if you don't think bigger than your environment, you'll never rise above it. Your mind is your factory. It produces the reality you live in. If you fill it with fear, you'll live in fear. If you fill it with purpose, you'll live with direction. That's why you got to protect your thoughts like they're treasure, because they are. Every great success story began with a mental picture that someone refused to let die. When you look at the most successful people, they don't start with money or connections. They start with imagination. They start with imagination. They see what's not there yet. They hold on to it when everyone else calls them crazy. The dreamers who become doers are those who refuse to let the world define what's possible for them. They think like winners before they ever win. They talk success, they breathe success, they visualize it every single day until their mind starts working like a magnet, pulling them toward it. But here's the truth most people miss. Thinking it isn't about daydreaming. It's not about sitting around and hoping. Thinking it means creating a vision so strong that it moves your actions, changes your habits, and controls your direction. When you think something with passion and clarity long enough, your mind starts aligning your body, your energy, and your time with that vision. Your behavior changes. Your confidence grows. You start walking like the person you want to become. You start acting like success before success even shows up. That's the power of thinking it first. You gotta build that picture in your head and keep it alive every single day. Because the world will try to distract you. Life will throw problems at you. People will doubt you. But if you've already seen your dream in your mind, those things won't stop you. You say, I've already been there in my thoughts. I've already lived that moment in my vision. I know where I'm going. That kind of mindset is unbreakable. When you wake up in the morning, your mind starts talking before your feet hit the ground. You can choose what it says. You can say, I'm tired, I can't do this. Or you can say, this is my time. I've got purpose today. I'm moving closer to my dream. Success begins the moment you take control of that inner conversation, because your mind will believe what you feed it. If you tell yourself you're not enough, you'll act like you're not enough. If you tell yourself you're powerful, you'll start doing powerful things. The thought becomes a seed, and your actions are the roots that grow from it. People look at others who make it and say, they're lucky. No, they're focused. They're intentional. They think success every single day until it becomes their nature. They train their thoughts like athletes train their bodies. You can't think small and live big. You can't think failure and live freedom. You have to align your thoughts with the life you want. That's why every morning is an opportunity to reset your mindset. You ask yourself, well, what am I thinking about? What story am I telling myself? Is it helping me or hurting me? Because every thought is either building you up or breaking you down. If you want to change your life, you got to start by changing your mental blueprint. You don't need the full plan. You don't need all the answers. You just need to see the vision clearly. Once the mind has a target, it will find a way. That's how the universe works. That's how success works. Your thoughts are signals. They send energy, they attract situations, they open doors. When your mindset says, I will, your actions start looking for proof of that belief. You ever notice that people who think negatively always find more things to complain about? And people who think positively always find a way to keep going, even when things go wrong. That's not coincidence. That's mindset. You get what you look for. If you train your mind to look for solutions instead of problems, to look for growth instead of pain, to look for opportunity instead of failure, your life changes from the inside out. There's a power in visualization that most people underestimate. Before a basketball player takes the shot, he sees it going in. Before a fighter steps in the ring, he sees himself winning. That's what thinking it before living it looks like. Seeing the outcome before the world sees it. Because when your mind is convinced, your body follows. You don't hesitate when you've already seen yourself succeed. That's why your imagination is your greatest weapon. Unless you experience victory before you even achieve it. But understand it. Success doesn't come to those who simply wish for it. It comes to those who think it, plan it, and grind for it every single day. You've got to feed your vision. Read things that align with it. Watch things that inspire it. Surround yourself with people who believe in it. Because if you feed your mind junk, your dream starves. If you feed your mind power, your dream grows stronger. When you think success, you begin to attract it. You start speaking differently. You stop saying a maybe and start saying a definitely. You stop saying a someday and start saying a day. Your thoughts become your commitment, and your commitment shapes your destiny. That's why successful people guard their mindset like it's gold. They know one negative thought can derail a day of progress. So they keep their minds pure, focused, and forward. Thinking it before living, it means being your own believer when nobody else claps for you. It means seeing light when the world gives you darkness. It means holding on to the vision when everything looks impossible. Because that's when true faith shows up. When your circumstances say no, but your mind still says yes. You gotta learn to live in two realities, the one you're in and the one you're creating. The current reality might be tough. Bills, pressure, rejection. But the mental reality you're building is powerful. Keep feeding that second one until it becomes your new truth. That's how every successful person made it. They lived in their dream mentally long before it became their address physically. Don't underestimate the small moments either. Every time you choose to think positively, every time you decide to believe instead of doubt, you're rewriting your story. You're building a new mental pattern. And over time, that mindset becomes unshakable. Because once you train your mind to focus on success, failure doesn't scare you anymore. It just becomes part of the process. The world might not understand your vision, and that's okay. They don't have to see it. You have to see it. You were given that dream for a reason. It's not a mistake. If you can think it with conviction, that means you already have what it takes to make it happen. The gap between thinking and living it is filled with faith, action, and persistence. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for someone to believe in you. Start thinking like you've already won. Start walking like it's already yours. Because when you think like a champion, you move like one. When your thoughts rise, your life rises. Every great change starts with a mental decision. I'm done living small. I'm done thinking average. I'm done doubting myself. The moment you make that decision, your energy shifts. You become magnetic. You start attracting the people, the opportunity, and the lessons you need. Because once your mind changes, everything around you has no choice but to change too. So from this day forward, refuse to let your circumstances control your thinking. Flip it. Let your thinking control your circumstances. Speak what you want. See what you want. Think what you want. And then go live. The vision in your mind is not a fantasy. It's your future waiting for you to believe in it. Think it before you live it. See yourself walking into that dream job. See yourself building that business. See yourself winning that race. See yourself free, confident, and fulfilled. Confident and fulfilled. Because once your mind accepts the image, your reality starts rearranging itself to match it. That's the law of success. That's the mindset of champions. You don't need permission to dream. You don't need approval to think big. All you need is the courage to hold the vision when it's invisible. Because one day the world will see what you saw all along, and they'll call it success. But you'll know it started the moment you dared to think it before you lived it. Your mindset is your GPS. It's the internal navigation system that determines where you end up in life. It doesn't matter how good your car is, how full your tank is, or how smooth the road is. If your GPS is set to the wrong destination, you'll never arrive where you truly want to go. That's how the mind works. It's constantly guiding your direction, shaping your focus, and deciding your results. Whatever you program into it, through your beliefs, your words, and your habits, becomes the route you follow. Some people blame circumstances, bad luck, or other people for where they are. But the truth is, most people don't check their internal GPS. They wake up every day with a mind full of fear, doubt, and negativity, and they wonder why they keep ending up in the same place. You can't drive towards success if your mind is programmed for failure. You can't reach abundance if your thoughts are stuck in scarcity. The destination of your life is decided by the direction of your mindset. When your mindset is clear, confident, and positive, your path becomes easier to follow. Challenges still show up, but your GPS knows how to reroute. Just like a real navigation system, it doesn't panic when the road changes. It simply says, or recalculating. That's what a strong mindset does. When life throws you off course, it doesn't give up. It finds another way. A weak mindset says, I can't do this. A strong mindset says, I'll find another route. That's the difference between people who succeed and those who stay stuck. They know how to navigate through the storm because they programmed their minds for growth. Your mind's two modes, fear and faith. Fear tells you to turn back when things get tough. Faith tells you to keep going even when you can't see the finish line. Fear sees obstacles. Faith sees opportunities. The direction you choose determines everything. If your inner GPS is set to fear, you'll keep circling around the same problems, stuck in doubt, stuck in procrastination, stuck in excuses. But when you set it to faith, you'll start moving towards solutions, new paths, and breakthroughs you never thought possible. That's why you gotta be intentional about what you feed your mind. Every conversation, every book, every piece of content you consume is like entering coordinates into your GPS. If you listen to negativity all day, you're telling your mind to drive toward negativity. If you fill your head with inspiration, discipline, and vision, your mind will start steering you towards success automatically. It's not magic, it's focus. You attract what your mindset is tuned to. People who achieve great things aren't necessarily smarter. They just keep their mental GPS locked on the right direction. They think progress, they think purpose, they think perseverance. So even when life tries to detour them, they don't lose sight of where they're headed. You gotta decide your destination before you start the journey. You can't just say, I want success. What kind of success? What does it look like? How does it feel? The clearer the destination, the easier it becomes for your mind to find the way. Imagine getting into your car without knowing where you want to go. You just start driving, hoping to arrive somewhere meaningful. That's how most people live, directionless. They wake up without a purpose, work without passion, and go to sleep without fulfillment. But the ones who set their mental GPS towards something specific, freedom, growth, excellence, wake up with energy. They may not know every turn, but they know the direction, and that's enough to keep them moving. Sometimes you'll take a wrong turn. Sometimes you'll hit traffic. Sometimes the route will be longer than you expected, but your mindset decides how you respond. You can curse the delay, or you can trust the process. Because even when the route changes, the destination doesn't. A success mindset keeps you patient and focused. It says, it's taking longer than I planned, but I'm still getting there. That's what keeps dreamers from giving up. They trust their inner GPS even when the road looks uncertain. You can't build a successful life with a broken navigation system. If your thoughts are full of self-doubt, your decisions will reflect it. If you constantly say, I'm not good enough, you'll find proof of that belief everywhere you go. But if you start saying, I can handle this, you'll find strength you never knew you had. The mind believes whatever you tell it. And once it believes it, it starts finding routes to make it happen. That's why you've got to speak what you seek until you see what you said. There will be people who question your direction. They'll tell you that your dream is too far, too risky, too unrealistic. Don't let them reset your GPS. They don't see what you see. They don't feel what you feel. Your path is personal. Stay locked on your coordinates. Because once you let someone else set your destination, you start living their life instead of your own. Protect your vision. Guard it with discipline. You don't have to explain every turn you take. You just have to keep driving with focus. A powerful mindset also knows when to pivot. Just because you change the route doesn't mean you've changed the goal. Success isn't a straight highway. It's a journey full of turns, detours, and breakdowns. But the ones who make it never stop adjusting. They never lose sight of where they're going. They understand that mistakes aren't failure. They're recalculations. Every setback is a new route that still leads to victory if you don't quit. If you've ever felt lost, it's because you forgot to check your mental coordinates. Where are your thoughts leading you? Toward growth or guilt? Toward purpose or toward pain? You can't get to peace thinking chaos. You can't get to success thinking small. Change your mental destination and your life will begin to shift. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Just start heading in the right direction. Even a slow step forward is better than standing still with the wrong mindset. Your GPS works even in the dark. You don't have to see the whole map. You just have to trust the next turn. That's what faith looks like. Sometimes life will test you with silence. You'll be doing the right things, putting in the work, but it'll feel like nothing's moving. In those moments, your mindset will be tested. Will you doubt the path or trust the process? The GPS might not speak for a while, but it's still guiding you. It's just waiting for you to reach the next point. Every successful person you admire has been lost before. They've taken wrong turns, hit dead ends, and questioned everything. But they didn't throw away their dream. They kept recalculating. They learned from their mistakes, adjusted their strategies, and moved forward again. That's what a success mindset does. It doesn't quit when the road gets hard. It adapts. It doesn't complain about the journey. It focuses on the destination. You can't let emotions drive the car. Doubt, fear, and frustration will always show up as passengers. But you decide who holds the wheel. If you let your emotions control you, you'll keep taking exits that lead to regret. But if your mindset stays steady, you'll keep driving even when the weather changes. Success isn't about never getting lost. It's about having the mental strength to find your way back every time you do. You've got to start paying attention to your inner directions. When your mind says a turn around, and just because something's difficult, question it. Is this danger or discomfort? Because success often hides behind discomfort. Your GPS might try to keep you safe, but safety doesn't build greatness. Sometimes you've got to override it and say, no, we're going through this. Growth requires courage to keep going when your old mindset tells you to stop. It's also about alignment. You can't expect a GPS to guide you if your signal is weak. In life, your signal is focus. Every distraction weakens it. Every doubt blurs it. That's why focus is your strongest ally. When your focus is strong, your mind connects with your purpose, and everything else becomes background noise. You start seeing signs and opportunities that were always there, but hidden behind confusion. That's what happens when your mindset aligns. You start receiving guidance that feels natural, effortless, almost divine. The beautiful thing about this mental GPS is that you can reset it at any moment. It doesn't matter where you started or how long you've been driving in the wrong direction. The moment you decide to change your mindset, you change your route. You can't rewrite your past, but you can redirect your future. That's the gift of awareness. You can always choose a new destination. Start small. Set your GPS for progress, not perfection. Each day, choose one thought that supports your goal, one decision that reflects your values, one action that matches your dream. Over time, these small turns lead to massive transformation. You'll wake up one day realizing that your life looks exactly like the vision you set long ago. Not because luck found you, but because your mindset guided you there. Life is full of roads, but your mindset chooses which one you travel. You can take the road of fear, comfort, and excuses, or the road of faith, discipline, and purpose. Both require energy. The difference is what you get in return. One keeps you lost, the other takes you home to your greatness. The choice is yours. So from this day on, check your GPS. Listen to your thoughts. Are they leading you towards your dream or away from it? Reprogram them if you have to. Feed your mind with truth, vision, and belief, because your mind will always find what it's focused on. And when you set your mindset towards success, no matter how many wrong turns or storms you face, you'll always find your way back to victory. Your mindset is your GPS. Set it right, trust it completely, and will never fail to lead you where you are meant to be. Pain is a part of progress. You can't have one without the other. Every person you admire, every champion you look up to, every successful story you've ever heard has a chapter that's filled with pain. But here's the truth most people don't want to hear. That pain was necessary. That struggle was required. The suffering wasn't punishment. It was preparation. Pain doesn't come to stop you. It comes to shape you. It's the tool life uses to carve out the greatness inside of you. See, everybody wants to grow, but nobody wants to hurt. Everybody wants the glory, but nobody wants to grind. Everybody wants success, but not everybody wants to bleed for it. You can't skip the pain and expect the prize. You can't avoid the fire and still come out pure. Pain is what turns amateurs into professionals, dreamers into doers, talkers into warriors. It's the classroom of champion. When you go through pain, life is asking you one question: how bad do you want it? Because pain doesn't just test your body, it tests your heart, your will, your mindset. It exposes your weakness, and in that exposure, it gives you the chance to build strength. If you avoid pain, you avoid progress. Every workout that burns your muscles, every failure that bruises your pride, every rejection that breaks your confidence, all of it is life's way of saying, this is where growth lives. You can't get stronger without resistance. You can't build muscle without breaking down fibers. You can't develop discipline without discomfort. So when pain shows up, stop asking, why me? Start saying, try me. Because that's what winners do. They don't run from the hurt, they run through it. They understand that pain isn't punishment. It's the process of transformation. Let's be real. Pain doesn't feel good. It makes you question everything. It makes you want to quit. It makes you think the dream isn't worth it. But those are the moments that define you. Anybody can be positive when things are easy. Anybody can smile when the sun's shining. But when you're tired, when you're broke, when you're losing, when it feels like nobody believes in you, that's where character is built. Pain strips away the fake confidence and shows you what's real. What's real? It reveals the warrior hiding under your doubt. Sometimes pain comes from loss, losing a loved one, losing an opportunity, losing yourself. But even in loss, there's a lesson. Pain has a language, and it's always speaking growth. It says, you can survive this. You can rise from this. You can rebuild stronger. The problem is most people let pain paralyze them instead of propel them. They get hit once and never get back up. But if you can learn to see pain as a teacher instead of an enemy, you'll never fear it again. Think about it. Every single breakthrough you've ever had came after a breakdown. Every lesson you value came from a mistake, a rejection, or a hardship. The job you didn't get taught you patience. The relationship that didn't taught you boundaries. The failure that hurt the most taught you resilience. Pain gives clarity. It shows you what matters, what doesn't, and who you are when the mask comes off. That's why when you see people at the top, don't envy their success. Study their scars. Study their scars. Because behind every smile is a struggle. Behind every victory is a season of tears, sacrifice, and sleepless nights. People see the trophies, not the training. They see the results, not the repetition. But pain was in every step of the journey. It taught discipline, humility, focus, and gratitude. You can't fake progress, and you can't fake pain. You've got to go through it. Pain is the entry fee to your next level. And if you're not willing to pay it, you'll stay stuck where you are. Too many people quit in the middle of the process because they think pain means they're losing. No, pain means you're changing. It means you're shedding the old version of yourself. It means you're evolving into something stronger, wiser, tougher. Every storm passes, but the strength it leaves behind stays forever. That's the beauty of pain. It's temporary, but the lessons are permanent. The version of you that comes out of pain is unrecognizable to the one that went in. You walk differently. You think differently. You love differently. You love differently. Because once you've endured real pain, small problems don't shake you anymore. You've seen worse, felt worse, survived worse, survived worse. And that gives you power. When you embrace pain, it loses control over you. When you resist it, it multiplies. Pain demands your attention. Either you face it or it'll chase you until you do. That's why you gotta change how you see it. Instead of saying, this hurts, start saying, this is building me. Instead of saying, this is too much, start saying, this is training me. That shift in mindset turns pain into power. Let's talk about the gym for a second. When you lift weights, your muscles tear. That's why they grow. Without that tearing, there's no gain. Life works the same way. Every challenge you face tears a little part of your comfort zone so that new strength can grow. The only people who never feel pain are the ones who never push themselves. But comfort is the enemy of greatness. Pain is proof you're stretching your limits. The truth is, you'll never escape pain. You'll either experience the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. One builds you, the other breaks you. You get to choose. Discipline hurts now, but regret hurts forever. The pain of discipline creates freedom later. The pain of regret keeps you chained to the past. So don't avoid pain. Choose the kind that leads to purpose. Some of the greatest blessings in life come disguised as pain. You lose something only to make space for something better. You get rejected from one door so you'll find the right one. You fail at one thing so you can discover what you were truly meant to do. Pain redirects you when you're going the wrong way. It's life's way of saying, oh, we're not supposed to stop here. And sometimes pain is the only thing that wakes you up. You get too comfortable, too lazy, too distracted, and pain shakes you. It reminds you that you were built for more. It's like fire. It burns, but it also refines. You can't come out of pain unchanged. It either makes you bitter or it makes you bitter. Or choice is yours. When you look back years later, the seasons that hurt the most will be the ones that shaped you the best. The night you cry will become the strength that makes you smile. The failures that broke you will become the foundation that builds you. You'll realize that without pain, you never would have discovered your purpose. But here's the key. You can't just go through pain. You've got to grow through pain. Going through it means surviving. Growing through it means learning, adapting, and transforming. Every painful experience holds a lesson, but only if you're humble enough to look for it. Ask yourself, what is this teaching me? What am I supposed to learn from this? Because once you find the lesson, the pain loses its power to control you. There's a quote that says, a gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. You gotta let the friction of life polish you. You gotta let it refine your attitude, your patience, your mindset. It's not about avoiding the rough parts. It's about enduring them with purpose. Pain can be your greatest teacher if you let it. So the next time you feel broken, remember this. You're not breaking down. You're breaking open. Something new is being born. Growth always requires the destruction of the old. The pain you feel today is the strength you'll stand on tomorrow. Every tear, every bruise, every scar is proof that you didn't quit. Life doesn't reward those who run from pain. It rewards those who master it. And mastering it doesn't mean loving it. It means understanding its role in your journey. It means trusting that pain isn't permanent. You're not meant to live in it forever. You're meant to rise from it. The seed has to crack before it grows. The night has to fall before the sun rises. Pain is the proof that something inside you is growing. So when the pain comes, and it will, don't ask for it to stop. Ask for the strength to endure it. Ask for the wisdom to learn from it. And ask for the faith to believe that it's leading somewhere better. Because one day, when you reach your goal, you'll look back and realize that pain was the best coach you ever had. It taught you resilience, patience, humility, and strength. It showed you what you're truly made of. You can't escape pain, but you can use it. You can let it push you, fuel you, and drive you. You can make it your motivation instead of your misery. Because once you understand that pain is a part of progress, you'll stop running from it and start running with it. You'll embrace the burn, trust the process, and become unstoppable. Remember this forever. Pain is not your enemy, it's your evolution. It's not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your strength. Every time you rise from pain, you prove that nothing can break you. And that's when you become dangerous. When pain no longer scares you. Because you've learned that it's only shaping the masterpiece you were born to be. Discipline over motivation. That's the line that separates the people who dream from the people who do. Everybody feels motivated at the start. When it's new, when it's exciting, when the energy is high. Motivation feels like fuel, but motivation fades. It's emotional, temporary, and unpredictable. Discipline, on the other hand, is the engine that keeps running even when the tank is empty. Discipline doesn't care about how you feel. It cares about what needs to be done. If you're waiting for motivation to get started, you'll spend your whole life waiting. But if you build discipline, you'll start moving even when every part of you screams to stop. Discipline is the real secret behind the success mindset. Think about this. Every successful person you admire, the athlete, the entrepreneur, the artist, the leader, they don't win because they're always motivated. They win because they're consistent. They show up even when they don't feel like it. They train when nobody's watching. They study when everyone else is sleeping. That's not motivation. That's discipline. Motivation says, I'll do it when I feel ready. Discipline says, I'll do it because it's time. There's a big difference between wanting success and preparing for it every single day. The truth is, your feelings can't be trusted. They change. Some mornings you wake up ready to conquer the world. Other days you just want to hide from it. But discipline, real discipline doesn't bend with emotion. It's the voice inside you that says, I get up anyway. It's the power to act despite your emotions. Motivation is a spark, but discipline is the fire that never goes out. You have to train your mind to do what's necessary, even when it's uncomfortable. That's how you separate yourself from average. Let me tell you, every great story has a chapter where the main character wants to quit. Every champion hits a wall. Every student, every dreamer, every worker, they all hit moments when motivation dies. But those who push through, who stick to their plan, even when it's hard, are the ones who rise. Because discipline doesn't need applause. It doesn't need validation. It thrives in silence. It builds quietly day by day until suddenly the results speak so loud that nobody can ignore them. When you're disciplined, you learn to control your environment instead of letting it control you. You stop negotiating with your excuses. You stop making deals with your laziness. You stop waiting for the perfect time. The truth is, there will never be a perfect time. There will always be distractions, always be problems, always be reasons to stop. But discipline teaches you to keep your eyes on the goal, not the obstacle. It's not about doing it perfectly. It's about doing it consistently. You have to understand something. Success doesn't come from big moments. It comes from small habits. The little things you do every day matter more than the big things you do once in a while. Discipline is built in the daily grind, in waking up early, sticking to your schedule, practicing your craft, eating right, staying focused, saying no when it's easier to say yes. Those small choices compound over time and become unstoppable momentum. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you strengthen your discipline. Every time you follow through, you build trust with yourself. When you rely only on motivation, you're fragile. Motivation is like the weather. It changes constantly. One bad day, one rejection, one failure can destroy your drive. But when you rely on discipline, you're solid. You build a foundation that doesn't shake with feelings. You do what you say you do, and no matter what's happening around you. That's power. That's strength. That's what separates the winners from the ones who almost made it. You've got to stop chasing the feeling of motivation and start chasing the habit of action. Action creates progress. Progress creates purpose. And purpose fuels everything. The more you act, the more confident you become. The more consistent you are, the more unstoppable you feel. It's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about showing up no matter what. Because when you show up every day, even when you're tired, frustrated, or uninspired, you teach your mind who's in control. You prove to yourself that you're the master, not the victim of your emotions. And here's something real. Your mindset controls your energy. You can tell how someone thinks by how they carry themselves. The person with a weak mindset complains about problems. The person with a strong mindset focuses on solution. One sees obstacles, the other sees opportunities. One blames, the other builds. When your mindset is sharp, your perspective shifts. Life doesn't get easier, but you get stronger. The reason mindset comes before skill set is because your skills can only grow as far as your belief allows them to. You can have talent, but if you don't believe you deserve success, you'll self-sabotage. You'll talk yourself out of greatness. You'll find excuses instead of reasons. That's why mindset work is not optional. It's essential. You can't outperform the limits of your own belief. Every successful person you see has one thing in common. They built mental resilience before they built mastery. They failed hundreds of times before they got it right. They were told no more times than you can count. But they kept showing up because their mind was conditioned for persistence. They trained their brain to stay locked on the mission, no matter how painful the process became. That's how you win, not by avoiding hardship, but by mastering your response to it. When your mindset is strong, failure doesn't scare you anymore. You start to see failure as a lesson, not a loss. You start to realize that rejection is just redirection. You begin to trust the process more than the outcome. That's when everything changes. You stop rushing, you stop comparing, you stop doubting, and you start focusing. You start to play the long game. Because you know the only way to lose is to quit. A strong mindset also means taking full responsibility for your life. No blaming, no excuses, no pointing fingers. The moment you take responsibility, you take power. Because if you caused it, you can change it. But if you keep blaming others, you stay powerless. That's the mindset shift most people never make. They want success without accountability. They want victory without sacrifice. But it doesn't work like that. Mental strength means owning everything. Your actions, your habits, your thoughts, your results. Your mindset also controls your consistency. The people who show up every day, even when they don't feel like it, they've trained their minds to override their emotions. That's the real game. You can't control how you feel every day, but you can control what you do every day. That's mindset mastery, because motivation might last a moment, but mindset lasts a lifetime. Let's be honest. Life will test you. It will break you down, disappoint you, and challenge everything you believe. But that's the moment when your mindset decides your future. Weak minds fold under pressure. Strong minds forge purpose through it. Pain will come, but you decide what it means. You can let it destroy you or let it drive you. You can let it paralyze you or let it push you. Your reaction is your responsibility. That's mental strength. Building a strong mindset also means surrounding yourself with people who challenge you, not comfort you. If everyone around you agrees with you, you're not growing. Find people who call you out when you make excuses, who push you when you get lazy, who remind you of who you said you wanted to become. Iron sharpens iron. You can't develop a strong mindset in a soft environment. You must also master self-talk. What you say to yourself becomes your truth. If you keep telling yourself you're not good enough, your mind will believe it. If you tell yourself, I can do this, I will do this, long enough, your mind will start to align with your words. The most powerful conversation you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. Speak strength, not weakness. Speak progress, not problems. And don't forget, mindset is not just about toughness, it's also about clarity. Knowing who you are and what you stand for keeps you grounded when life tries to shake you. When you know your why, you can survive anyhow. People lose focus, they forget their purpose. They chase distractions, they compare their journey to others, and they get lost. But when your mind is anchored in your purpose, you become unshakable. You have to build a mindset that outlasts circumstances, because circumstances will change, people will leave, situations will evolve, but your mind has to stay solid. You can't control everything that happens, but you can control how you respond to it. That's what mental strength really means. It's not pretending everything's perfect. It's choosing to stay focused even when everything's falling apart. And here's the truth. Mindset before skill set isn't just about success. It's about peace. When your mind is right, you stop reacting to every storm. You stop letting every setback define you. You start living intentionally instead of emotionally. You begin to see that every experience, good or bad, is part of your growth. So, train your mind every day. Guard your thoughts. Feed your focus. Challenge your comfort. Remind yourself that your dreams are not negotiable. Because if your mind believes it, your body will execute it. But if your mind doubts it, no amount of skill will save you. You can lose everything: money, resources, opportunity. But if you got a strong mind, you can rebuild it all. Mindset is the root of greatness. It's what turns ordinary people into leaders. It's what transforms struggle into strength. It's what separates those who survive from those who thrive. Your mindset is your greatest weapon in this life. So sharpen it, protect it, and feed it every single day. Because the truth is simple. Before you can win in the world, you must first win in your mind. And once you conquer that, there's nothing that can stop you. A success mindset demands unshakable resilience, the kind of mental toughness that refuses to be broken, no matter how heavy the burden or how dark the road becomes. Resilience is not just bouncing back from failure. It's the art of standing tall even when everything inside you wants to collapse. When life pushes you to the ground, resilience whispers, "I get up again." It's not about avoiding pain or struggle, but about learning to dance in the storm. Eric Thomas often says, "You can't let the pain break you. You've got to let it build you." That's the essence of resilience, transforming every setback into a setup for a greater comeback. When you build resilience, you stop seeing problems as punishment and start seeing them as preparation. You begin to understand that pressure is what turns coal into diamonds, and the same principle applies to your life. Every challenge you face is an invitation to grow stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the success that's coming your way. Think about the people who succeed at the highest levels: athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders, dreamers. What separates them from everyone else isn't luck or talent. It's resilience. When failure knocks, they don't pack up and leave. They knock back. When they lose, they don't quit. They learn. They have a mindset that refuses to be broken by circumstance. They understand that success isn't a straight line. It's a messy, unpredictable journey filled with detours, disappointments, and delays. Resilience means showing up even when the results aren't showing. It means believing in your vision when no one else does. It means fighting your battles in silence and letting your victories make the noise. Resilience is built in the quiet moments when nobody's watching. It's forged in those long nights when you want to give up, but choose to keep going. It's shaped in the tears you wipe away and the fears you confront. You can't develop resilience and comfort, you develop it in chaos. That's why success never comes to those who take the easy path. It comes to those who can endure the grind, embrace discomfort, and stay committed to their purpose, even when everything seems to fall apart. You've got to condition your mind to endure pressure. You've got to train yourself to see adversity not as an enemy, but as an ally, a teacher that's shaping you for greatness. Every time life tests you, it's asking one question: how bad do you want it? Because resilience doesn't grow when everything's easy. It grows when the world tells you a no, and you still find a reason to say yes to your dream. It grows when doors close in your face, but you start building your own door. It grows when you lose everything and still wake up with fire in your heart. Resilience means refusing to be defined by your failure. It means knowing that falling down is part of the journey, but staying down is a choice. You gotta be the kind of person who can take the hits, keep moving, and still believe in victory. There will be moments when life hits harder than you expect, when friends leave, plans fail, everything you worked for seems to disappear overnight. But those are the moments that define your character. Anybody can smile when things are going right, but it takes strength to stand tall when everything's falling apart. That's when your mindset determines your outcome. A weak mindset sees problems as reasons to quit. A strong mindset sees problems as opportunities to grow. The truth is, pain either breaks you or builds you, and the choice is always yours. You can either let it destroy your confidence, or you can use it to sharpen your focus and strengthen your resolve. Resilience is not built overnight. It's built one choice at a time. Every time you choose to rise instead of retreat. It's built every time you decide that your goals matter more than your comfort. It's built in the repetition of doing hard things until they no longer scare you. When you train your mind to handle pressure, you become unstoppable. You start to see that obstacles don't block your path. They are the path. Every trial is training. Every disappointment is development. Every delay is discipline in disguise. When you embrace that truth, you start to appreciate the hard times because you know they're crafting the version of you who can handle success. One of the most powerful aspects of resilience is perspective. How you see challenges determines how you respond to them. If you see setbacks as proof that you're not good enough, you'll stop trying. But if you see them as part of the process, you'll keep pushing forward. Perspective allows you to take pain and turn it into purpose. It allows you to look back one day and realize that everything that once hurt you actually helped you. That's when you understand that the storms you survived weren't there to drown you. They were there to cleanse you. They stripped away your excuses, tested your faith, and revealed your strength. You have to build a resilience that's rooted in faith. Faith that your hard work will pay off, that your pain has meaning, and that your vision is worth the fight. When you have that kind of faith, no amount of failure can stop you. You'll face fear, but you won't be paralyzed by it. You'll face rejection, but you won't be discouraged by it. You'll face delay, but you won't lose hope. You'll keep showing up because you know your breakthrough could be one more step away. Resilience teaches you that success isn't about speed, it's about endurance. It's not about how fast you reach your goal, it's about how long you can keep going after everyone else has stopped. When you study the stories of great people, you'll notice a pattern. They all failed, struggled, and suffered, but they refused to give up. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first TV job. Steve Jobs was kicked out of his own company. But what made them legends was resilience. They took rejection and used it as motivation. They took criticism and turned it into commitment. They understood that failure is not final. It's formative. It shapes you into the person capable of carrying success responsibly. So when you face difficulties, remind yourself, this is part of your training. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. You're not being delayed. You're being developed. The universe doesn't give you what you ask for immediately. It gives you the challenges necessary to earn it. Every time you endure, you grow. Every time you rise, you strengthen your foundation. And when your moment finally arrives, you'll be ready, not because it was easy, but because you refused to quit when it was hard. Resilience isn't about pretending everything's fine. It's about acknowledging the pain, accepting the struggle, and still choosing to move forward. It's about staying disciplined even when you're discouraged. It's about staying committed when the excitement fades. It's about understanding that your dream doesn't care about your feelings. It demands your consistency. You can't wait for motivation. You have to build momentum through resilience. You have to wake up every day and choose to keep going. Not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Ultimately, resilience is what transforms ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. That's what allows you to rise from the ashes of failure and build a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Life will test you again and again, but each test is an opportunity to prove that you're built for this. When others give up, you'll keep climbing. When others lose faith, you'll keep believing. When others break, you'll keep building. That's the power of resilience. It doesn't make life easier, but it makes you stronger. And once you develop that strength, there's no challenge too great, no setback too heavy, and no dream too distant. Because a resilient mind doesn't just survive the storm. It learns to walk through it with purpose, knowing that every step forward is a step closer to success. A success mindset is never complete without one essential ingredient: gratitude. Gratitude transforms how you see your life, your challenges, and your journey. It's the quiet force that keeps your spirit alive when the world seems to work against you. Many people chase success so hard that they forget to be thankful for the progress they've already made. But true success doesn't come only from ambition. It comes from appreciation. Gratitude is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about recognizing even in the imperfections, there are blessings. When you live with gratitude, you stop focusing on what's missing and start valuing what's present. You begin to see every small victory as a gift and every obstacle as an opportunity to grow. Gratitude creates clarity. When you're thankful, your mind shifts from scarcity to abundance. You stop saying, I don't have enough, and start saying, I have more than I need to begin. Gratitude doesn't mean settling for less. It means celebrating what you have while working for more. It's that mindset that keeps you grounded when success comes and hopeful when it doesn't. Eric Thomas often says, when you appreciate what you have appreciates. That means your blessings multiply when you recognize them. Gratitude opens your eyes to possibilities that negativity blinds you from. You start to see lessons in losses, direction in detours, and purpose in pain. Many people are unhappy not because they lack something, but because they've stopped noticing the good things that already surround them. Gratitude teaches you to pause and reflect. It reminds you that even on your worst days, you still have reasons to be thankful. The air you breathe, the opportunities you have, the people who support you, and the strength that carries you through. Gratitude doesn't eliminate struggle, but it gives struggle meaning. It helps you see that every experience, whether good or bad, contributes to your growth. When you train your mind to focus on gratitude, you start attracting more reasons to be grateful. Life becomes less about complaining and more about creating. Success can be intoxicating. It can make people forget their roots, their struggles, and the sacrifices that shape them. Gratitude protects you from arrogance. It keeps you humble when things go right and hopeful when things go wrong. It reminds you that every achievement is built on the shoulders of effort, support, and grace. When you succeed, gratitude keeps your heart soft. When you fail, it keeps your spirit strong. It's a constant reminder that success is not something you achieve alone. It's a collective victory of hard work, timing, opportunity, and faith. One of the greatest powers of gratitude is its ability to change your emotional state instantly. When you feel lost or frustrated, pause and think about something you're truly thankful for. It could be your health, your family, your talent, or even the lessons you've learned from failure. That simple shift in focus changes your energy. You can't be truly grateful and angry at the same time. You can't be genuinely thankful and fearful at the same time. Gratitude and negativity can't coexist. Gratitude resets your heart and clears your perspective so you can move forward with peace. Discipline also demands accountability. You have to hold yourself responsible for your dreams. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to wake you up, push you to work, or remind you of your goals. That's your job. Discipline means owning your life, your results, your failures, your habits, your growth. You don't blame anyone. You don't make excuses. And you don't wait for the world to get easier. You just get stronger. And don't get it twisted. Discipline isn't about being perfect or robotic. It's about being committed. You're gonna fail sometime. You're gonna slip. You're gonna feel lost. But discipline means you get back up faster each time. You don't let one bad day turn into a bad week. You don't let one mistake define your story. Discipline means forgiving yourself, learning, and then getting back to work. Look at any great athlete, the ones at the top of their game. They don't practice because they're excited every day. They practice because they know what's at stake. They train when it's cold, when it's dark, when nobody's cheering. They build a relationship with discipline so strong that it overrides every excuse. That's why when the lights come on and the pressure hits, they perform. They've already paid the price in private. You can't have championship results with a casual work ethic. You gotta ask yourself, what am I doing when nobody's watching? Because that's where discipline lives. It's not about impressing people. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. Discipline means doing what's right, not what's easy. It's turning off distractions, saying no to short-term pleasure, keeping your eyes locked on the long-term vision. That's not glamorous. That's real work. But that's what greatness demands. Discipline is freedom. It sounds backward, but it's true. When you're disciplined, you control your life. You're not a slave to moods, cravings, or laziness. You decide your schedule, your habits, your future. People think discipline is restriction. It's actually liberation. Because when you're disciplined, you earn choices. You earn freedom through consistency. You earn respect through results. And here's the truth. You always feel proud of yourself in the moment. There will be days when discipline feels boring. Days when it feels like nothing's changing. But if you stay consistent long enough, you'll look back and realize how far you come. The results don't show up immediately, but they're building quietly. Every rep counts. Every study session counts. Every early morning counts. Every sacrifice counts. Discipline is invisible progress until it becomes undeniable success. You have to fall in love with the process. That's what separates real winners from everyone else. Motivation loves results. Discipline loves effort. Motivation asks, how long will it take? Discipline asks, yeah, as long as it takes. That's the difference. When you start valuing the process more than the outcome, you stop getting frustrated by slow progress. You realize that consistency itself is the victory. If you want a better life, more success, more peace, more confidence, stop chasing the next wave of motivation. Build habits, build structure, build discipline. Write down your goals. Make a schedule. Stick to it even when you don't feel like it. Don't skip because it's raining. Don't quit because it's hard. Don't wait for someone to remind you. Do it because you made a promise to yourself. When you keep showing up, you become unstoppable. When you stay consistent, you become dependable. When you refuse to quit, you become unbreakable. The people who make history aren't the ones who had the most motivation. They're the ones who build discipline into their DNA. They show up day after day, year after year, until the world has no choice but to recognize their commitment. Your commitment. So if you're serious about success, stop asking how to stay motivated. Start asking how to stay disciplined, because motivation might get you started, but discipline will finish the race. Motivation might light the fire, but discipline will keep it burning when the winds of life blow hard. Build your discipline and you'll build a life that no excuse can destroy. That's the mindset that wins. That's the mindset that lasts. That's the success mindset. If it feels easy, you're not growing. That's the truth most people don't want to face. Everybody wants success, but not everybody wants the discomfort that comes with it. We all want the rewards, the recognition of results, but the process, that's where most people quit. Comfort feels safe, familiar, and easy. But comfort kills ambition. It slowly drains your drive, your hunger, your potential. If you want to evolve, you have to kill your comfort zone before it kills your dreams. Growth never happens in comfort. It happens when you step into the unknown, when you take risks, when you challenge yourself to do what scares you. Think about it. Every major breakthrough in life started with discomfort. The first time you learned to walk, it was uncomfortable. You fell, you cried, you hurt yourself, but you got up again and kept moving. The first time you spoke in public, your voice shook, your palms sweated, your heart raced. But that fear was proof that you were stepping beyond your comfort zone. Every time you've grown, it was because you did something that made you uncomfortable. So if you want to live a bigger life, stop avoiding discomfort and start chasing it. The problem is society has trained us to love comfort. We crave instant gratification, fast food, fast results, fast success. But comfort is a trap disguised as peace. It tells you you're okay when you're not. It tells you you've done enough when you haven't even scratched the surface. Comfort keeps you exactly where you are, convincing you that this is all there is. But deep down, you know there's more. There's a version of you waiting on the other side of fear. You just have to be willing to step through it. When you live in comfort, you stop taking risks. You stop dreaming big. You stop protecting what you have instead of pursuing what you want. You trade potential for security. But here's the truth. Growth doesn't come with guarantees. The road to success is uncomfortable, unpredictable, and often lonely. You'll face criticism, failure, and self-doubt. But that's how you know you're alive. That's how you know you're alive. That's how you know you're doing something that matters. Comfort might make you feel good temporarily, but it will never fulfill you permanently. If you want to grow, you have to choose discomfort on purpose. Wake up earlier, train harder, read more, learn something new. Speak up when you'd rather stay silent. Take a step when fear tells you to stand still. Every time you push yourself beyond what feels comfortable, you expand your capacity. You stretch your limits. You build resilience. The pain you feel today becomes the strength you stand on tomorrow. Growth is not supposed to be pleasant. Think of a seed. It has to crack open before it becomes a tree. That breaking is uncomfortable, but it's necessary. The same applies to you. When life stretches you, when it pushes you, when it feels like you're being tested, understand that you're growing. The discomfort is not punishment, it's preparation. The struggle is shaping you into who you're meant to be. The comfort zone is where dreams go to die quietly. Because in comfort, there's no urgency. You tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow. You convince yourself you have time. But days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. Before you know it, your potential has been buried under excuses. Don't let that be your story. Don't let comfort rob you of your destiny. You can't reach greatness while staying safe. You can't build strength without resistance. When you push through discomfort, you discover something powerful. You realize that pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. You start to see that the things you were afraid of weren't as big as you imagined. You begin to trust yourself more. You gain confidence not from success, but from survival. Every time you go through something hard and come out stronger, your mind learns, I can handle more. That's growth. That's real power. The truth is, growth requires sacrifice. You can't keep all your comfort and still reach new levels. You might have to give up late nights for early mornings. You might have to give up friends who distract you. You might have to walk alone for a while. But every sacrifice plants seed for something greater. The people who achieve extraordinary things are the ones who are willing to endure temporary pain for permanent progress. Stop waiting for life to get easier. It won't. You just have to get stronger. The gym doesn't get lighter, the lifter gets better. The road doesn't get smoother, the driver gets more skilled. Challenges don't disappear. You just learn how to face them with courage. Growth is not about avoiding pain. It's about mastering it. When you kill your comfort zone, you start living intentionally. You start doing things not because they're easy, but because they're right. You begin to value discipline over pleasure. You start to chase purpose instead of approval. That's when life begins to expand. Every new level of success will demand a new version of you. The habits, thoughts, and fears that worked at one level won't work at the next. So if you want to keep evolving, you must keep leaving your comfort zone behind. Most people never reach their potential because they confuse being busy with being challenged. You can fill your day with tasks that feel safe, scrolling through social media, doing easy work, avoiding risk, and still call it productivity. But real growth happens when you do the uncomfortable work, the hard conversations, the bold decisions, the consistent action when nobody's clapping for you. You need to train your mind to see discomfort as a signal of growth, not danger. When something scares you, it usually means you're about to level up. Don't run from that fear. Lean into it. Let it stretch you. Let it teach you. The comfort zone will give you short-term relief, but discomfort gives you long-term transformation. You might fail. You might fall. You might embarrass yourself. But every time you do, you learn something that comfort could never teach you. You learn patience. You learn humility. You learn resilience. Failure and discomfort is more valuable than success and comfort because one teaches you to survive and the other teaches you to settle. If you truly want to achieve greatness, stop asking for easy, ask for growth. Stop praying for comfort, pray for strength. Because the higher you climb, the harder the climb gets. And that's how it should be. If your path is too easy, you're walking the wrong road. Comfort whispers lies. It tells you you've done enough when you barely started. It said you deserve a break when you haven't earned it. It tells you you're safe here when here isn't where you belong. Don't listen. Listen to your potential instead. That small persistent voice inside you that says you can do more. That's your truth. That's your calling. Follow that voice even when it leads you into discomfort. Growth doesn't happen overnight. It's slow, it's painful, and sometimes it's invisible, but it's worth it. Every uncomfortable moment builds your mental armor. Every risk strengthens your spirit. Every failure shapes your wisdom. One day you'll look back and realize that the moments you hated most were the ones that grew you the most. You owe it to yourself to live beyond comfort. The people who make a difference in the world are not the ones who play this safe. They're the ones who risk everything for something bigger. They dared to be uncomfortable for the sake of impact. They traded temporary ease for lasting legacy. So stop waiting for the right time. Stop waiting to feel ready. The perfect moment doesn't exist. Step into discomfort now. Apply for the job. Start the business. Hit the gym. Write the book. Speak your truth. Whatever it is, do it scared. Do it uncomfortable. Do it unsure. Because every time you do, you grow into the person you were meant to be. Remember this. The comfort zone feels like peace, but it's really quiet surrender. It's the slow death of your potential. Discomfort feels like chaos, but it's actually transformation. You don't find yourself by staying safe. You find yourself by testing your limits. So go beyond what feels easy. Push harder. Dream bigger. Work longer. Fall, fail, and rise again. Because comfort will make you ordinary, but discomfort will make you unstoppable. And once you get used to living outside your comfort zone, there's nothing in this world that can stop your growth. You can have all the talent in the world, but if your mind is weak, your talent means nothing. That's the truth most people don't want to hear. People chase skills, they chase opportunities, they chase shortcuts, but they forget the foundation of it all. Mindset. Your skill set can get you started, but only your mindset can keep you in the game when things get hard. Because talent might open the door, but it's your mental toughness that keeps you standing when the storm hits. You've got to understand that everything begins and ends in your mind. Your body follows your thoughts. Your decisions are shaped by your mindset, and your results are just a reflection of what you believe you're capable of. Most people never lose because they lack ability. They lose because they surrender mentally. The moment things get uncomfortable, they fold. The moment something doesn't go their way, they stop. But the people who rise, the ones who win, they build something stronger than motivation. They build mindset armor. When things get tough, they don't panic. They adapt. When life says no, they find another way. That's what separates winners from quitters. A strong mindset is built, not born. You don't wake up with it. You forge it through struggle, through failure, through relentless repetition. Every setback is a test. Every challenge is a workout for your mind. The problem is most people only train their bodies, not their minds. They want to look strong, not be strong. But real power starts inside. You can't have a winning life with a losing mentality. You can't expect victory when your thoughts are constantly whispering defeat. Mindset is the foundation of discipline. It's what keeps you moving when motivation fades. It's what reminds you of your purpose when you start to doubt yourself. Because when your mind is right, everything else follows. You wake up differently. You move differently. You speak with conviction. You make decisions with clarity. That's why I always say success starts in your head long before it shows up in your hands. You can have the best resources, the best team, the best tools, but if your mindset is weak, none of it will matter. That's why you see some people come from nothing and still win. They didn't have money. They didn't have connections, but they had mental strength. They believed when no one else did. They kept going when every reason said stop. They built their empire on the strength of their mindset. Meanwhile, some people have everything handed to them. Education, wealth, talent, and still fail. Why? Because their mind wasn't ready to carry the weight of success. A strong mindset doesn't mean you never feel fear or doubt. It means you don't let those feelings control you. You acknowledge them, but you keep moving. You know that fear is part of growth. You know that failure isn't final unless you quit. You understand that your current situation isn't your final destination. That's the difference. People with weak mindsets see failure as the end. People with strong mindsets see it as feedback. You gotta train your mind like an athlete trains their body. Every day, feed it with positive thoughts, challenge it with hard tasks, stretch it with new goals. Don't let it stay idle because an idle mind gets weak. Learn, reflect, put yourself into situations that test your patience, your confidence, your faith. The more you test your mind, the stronger it becomes. Another profound aspect of gratitude is its connection to resilience. When you're grateful, you interpret challenges differently. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You begin to ask, what is this teaching me? Gratitude allows you to find value even in pain. You understand that the struggle is not there to destroy you, it's there to strengthen you. When you face difficulties with a grateful heart, you maintain hope. You keep faith in the idea that something good can come from even the hardest situations. Gratitude becomes your armor. It shields you from despair and empowers you to keep moving forward. Success without gratitude is empty. You can have wealth, fame, and recognition, but if you're not grateful, you'll always feel something missing. Gratitude fills that void. It gives meaning to your achievements. It reminds you why you started in the first place. When you wake up with gratitude, you approach the day differently. You stop complaining about the work and start celebrating the opportunity to work. You stop worrying about the future and start enjoying the present. You stop comparing your path to others and start focusing on your own growth. Gratitude keeps you focused on your lane, content with your progress, and excited for what's ahead. Sometimes gratitude takes effort, especially when life feels unfair. It's hard to be thankful when everything seems to be falling apart. But those are the moments when gratitude matters most. It's easy to be grateful when things go right. True strength is being grateful even in the storm. Gratitude doesn't deny pain. It acknowledges it while still recognizing the light that remains. It says, yes, things are hard, but I'm still here. I'm still breathing. I still have purpose. That mindset is powerful because it stops problems from defining you. It shifts your focus from what's lost to what's left. When you make gratitude a habit, it becomes your default response to life. You stop chasing happiness and start creating it. you begin to realize that happiness is not the result of success, it's the foundation of it. Grateful people are happier, more focused, and more productive because they operate from a place of abundance. They're not weighed down by envy, fear, or resentment. They see opportunities where others see obstacles. Gratitude gives them peace in the chaos and strength in the struggle. It's what keeps the fire burning when others burn out. Every morning, take a moment to count your blessing. Every night, reflect on what went right. This simple discipline rewires your brain for positivity. Science even shows that gratitude improves mental health, strengthens relationships, and enhances motivation. But beyond the science, it's spiritual. It connects you to something greater than yourself. It reminds you that your journey is guided, that your efforts have purpose, and that your blessings, big or small, are not random. They're signs that you're on the right path. Gratitude and success are deeply intertwined. The more grateful you are, the more receptive you become to growth. Gratitude creates space in your heart for new opportunity because you're no longer fixated on what's lacking. You start to attract people, ideas, and moments that align with your positive energy. It's not magic, it's mindset. Gratitude makes you magnetic because it turns your focus from I deserve more to I'm thankful for what I have and ready for what's next. In the end, success is not about how much you accumulate, but how deeply you appreciate. You can have all the trophies, but if you don't have gratitude, you'll still feel empty. Gratitude gives you peace while you pursue greatness. It helps you enjoy every season of life. The highs, the lows, the breakthroughs, and the rebuild. It keeps you grounded in humility and elevated in spirit. When you operate with gratitude, you stop chasing validation and start creating value. You realize that every breath, every chance, every day is a gift. And success becomes not just a destination, but a way of life. So, if you truly want to live with a success mindset, make gratitude your foundation. Wake up every day and say a thank you. Thank you for the strength to keep going. Thank you for the lessons that shaped me. Thank you for the opportunities that are yet to come. When gratitude becomes your attitude, success will naturally follow. Not because you're lucky, but because you're aligned, you'll walk through life with joy, peace, and purpose. And that, more than anything else, is the true definition of success. Every journey towards success eventually leads to one undeniable truth. Your mindset shapes your destiny. Throughout everything we've discussed, from vision and discipline to faith, resilience, and gratitude, the core message remains the same. Success doesn't start in your hand, it starts in your head. You can have the talent, the resources, the support, and even the opportunity, but if your mindset isn't built to handle the pressure, the pain, and the process, you'll never be able to sustain success when it arrives. The mind is the foundation of everything. Eric Thomas often says, you don't get what you want. You get what you're willing to grind for. But the grind isn't just physical, it's mental, emotional, and spiritual. The journey to success will test every part of who you are. It will challenge your patience, question your faith, and demand your persistence. There will be days when you feel invisible, when your hard work seems to go unnoticed, when your sacrifices feel pointless, and when quitting looks easier than continuing. But those are the moments that define you. Those are the moments when your success mindset must take control. You see, success isn't about avoiding struggle. It's about learning how to walk through struggle without losing your fire. Every champion was once a contender who refused to give up. Every breakthrough began as a moment of pain that someone decided to transform into power. When you choose to live with a success mindset, you stop looking at obstacles as roadblocks and start seeing them as stepping stones. You begin to understand that every no you face, every setback you encounter, and every delay you endure is not meant to destroy you. It's meant to develop you. Life doesn't hand you success. It hands you lessons that prepare you to handle it. That's why success requires patience. You must be willing to endure the waiting season. You must keep grinding even when there's no applause. Because when your time finally comes, it will be clear that every tear, every failure, and every sleepless night was not wasted. It was building the version of you capable of carrying greatness. The success mindset is also about humility. It's easy to believe that success is all about self, your achievements, your victories, your name. But the truth is, success has always been bigger than one person. It's about impact, It's about using what you gain to uplift others. When you finally reach your goals, remember where you came from. Remember the days when you had nothing but a dream. Gratitude and humility will keep your heart grounded, even as your influence grows. Because real success isn't just about what you accumulate, it's about what you contribute. The world doesn't remember those who only took. It remembers those who gave back, those who inspired others to believe, those who made a difference even when it was difficult. And as you walk the path toward your dreams, don't forget to take care of your spirit. Success will demand everything from you: your energy, your time, your focus. If you don't take time to rest, reflect, and reconnect with your purpose, you'll lose yourself in the process. Balance is part of success. Peace is part of success. Joy is part of success. What's the point of reaching the top if you're too broken to enjoy the view? Make sure that while you're building your dream, you're also building yourself. Protect your mental health. Surround yourself with people who remind you of your worth, not just your work. Learn to celebrate progress, not just perfection. Success also demands consistency. Success also demands consistency. It's not about doing something great once. It's about doing something small with greatness every single day. Winners are not defined by one moment of brilliance. They're built by countless moments of discipline. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be persistent. Even when motivation fades, discipline must take over. Because motivation is temporary, but mindset is permanent. Your habits will always outlast your feeling. The person who wins is not the one who feels like it. It's the one who shows up no matter what. Success rewards those who refuse to stop showing up for themselves. Never forget that failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of it. Every mistake you make is teaching you something necessary for the next level. The only true failure is quitting. As long as you're still trying, you're still in the game. When you fall, don't see it as defeat. See it as data. Learn from it. Adjust. Rise again. Success is not measured by how many times you fall, but by how many times you rise. Every time you get back up, you build credibility with yourself. You prove that you can trust your strength. That's what a success mindset really is. It's self-belief reinforced by perseverance. As you grow, you'll realize that success is not just about money or recognition. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. It's about having peace in your purpose, strength in your struggle, and hope in your heart. It's about waking up every day with passion and going to sleep every night knowing you gave it your all. It's about becoming someone you can be proud of. Not because of what you've achieved, but because of who you become in the process. The real reward of success is transformation. It's not the trophy, it's the growth. There will always be voices trying to distract you. Doubt, fear, comparison. But the success mindset silences all of them. It reminds you that you're not running anyone else's race. You're running your own. You don't need to be faster than anyone. You just need to keep moving forward. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to keep asking better questions. You don't need to prove yourself to the world. You just need to stay true to your mission. When you live with a success mindset, external validation loses its power. You stop chasing approval and start chasing purpose. You stop worrying about what others think and start focusing on what you're called to do. And let's be clear, success isn't something you achieve once and forget. It's a lifestyle. It's a continuous process of learning, adapting, and evolving. The world will change. Circumstances will shift and challenges will appear out of nowhere. But as long as your mindset remains strong, you'll always find a way to win. Because success doesn't belong to the smartest, the richest, or the most talented. It belongs to the most determined, to the one who keeps getting up, to the one who keeps believing, to the one who keeps grinding long after everyone else has stopped. So as you take everything you've learned about the success mindset, vision, purpose, resilience, gratitude, consistency, discipline, remember that all of it comes down to choice. You must choose this mindset every single day. You must choose to be positive when negativity surrounds you. You must choose to keep going when quitting feels easier. You must choose to believe in yourself even when no one else does. The power to succeed has always been in your hands. It's been waiting for your decision. And when that moment comes, when your dream becomes your reality, don't forget to look back and thank every struggle that made you stronger, every closed door that redirected you, every failure that taught you, every person who believed in you, and even those who doubted you. because they gave you the fire to prove yourself. Success is not one big moment. It's a collection of small choices all day, silent prayer, and unwavering belief. So keep pushing, keep believing, and keep grinding, and keep grinding. Don't wait for the perfect time. Create it. Don't hope for opportunity. Be ready for it. Don't run from the pain. Grow through it. Because when your mindset is unbreakable, your future becomes unstoppable. Success is not somewhere out there, it's within you. In the moment you align your thoughts, your faith, your effort, and your gratitude, that's the moment success becomes not just a dream, but your reality. That's the message of a true success mindset. Dream boldly, work relentlessly, believe deeply, and never forget to be grateful. Because when your heart is right, your vision is clear, and your spirit is strong. There's nothing on this earth that can stop you from becoming everything you were created to be.